wants to take a piece out of every
Hey, you, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Midnight Madness Chats with Hardman. We've got a great band on the air tonight. Please introduce yourself and introduce your band.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan Zimbler. I'm the guitarist and lead singer for the Barcode Bandits.
I'm Niel, bassist and occasional backing vocalist and general dog's body.
I'm Marc Barclay. I'm the drummer and sort of backing vocals and sort of noisemaker at the sticks, and also proud to be part of the Bandits for what are we now? 13 years.
Yeah, so you guys have been a band for quite a while. You know, you've seen it all. You've been through COVID. You've been pre-COVID. You've been after COVID. So tell me a little bit about the whole experience, you know, coming from an old school era where there was sort of a nostalgia around bands, where marketing meant something else than what it did in modern times. Today, we have to do our little stupid monkey dances on internet, Facebook, social media, all those things to kind of make it. Tell me about the transition from sort of the old school to the new school era.
Cool. No, I think it's gotten harder, man. It's like you're saying, there is monkey dancing and there's table dancing and there's a lot more flair that needs to be given to the music industry than what it used to be. But it's also the sad journey, dude, because we've watched so many bands come and go that we thought like these guys are amazing and we're gonna share the stage with them again and again and again, and they just got less and less, and now we hanging out with youngsters and we not that there's anything wrong with that, but like it's we've met more new bands than old bands.
I think when you're talking the old school, I mean, I remember some of my first bands, you know, you would still design the poster, print an A3, go put it up in the club, put it up on the street, put out flyers and you know, hope for the best. And you sort of wished and hoped for the best to get onto a radio station and get sort of noticed. And then, you know, obviously social media started taking over, and that's where everybody lives. And even with those big platforms, it's difficult to fill a venue these days, because I think the live industry has taken a bit of a toll after COVID. People are still tending to be more in home or at home, not tending to go out that much to venues. That's sort of what we found, especially after this weekend.
Definitely. I've noticed that people don't like to stay out late. It's very rare that people, you know, I remember parties happening till 4 o'clock where the venue's like, please, we're going to get into trouble. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And those were the sort of golden days. And nowadays it's sort of like, it's kind of like 11, you guys have to be finished.
Yeah, got to be done.
It's a new era for music, but still, I think with the digital platforms, it's definitely an opportunity to reach the global markets a little bit better. So you guys recently started working on some new material. After quite a while, you released some brand new tracks.
Yeah. The thing is, they're not really old. They're not really new tracks at all. They are rebuilds, re-recordings of pretty old songs. I only joined the band about 5-6 years ago. We were jamming them, and we just had to pump some more life into them. I think that we've done that quite admirably with the new release of the old songs, the new recordings of the old songs. And yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun.
Talking about the, you know, sort of remodeling all the songs and things, how have you guys handled things like modern approaches to music? I remember from what you guys said last time we spoke, actually, you guys are very driven to an analog sound. You go back to the roots and things like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think, you know, when it comes to the recording process for me from a drumming perspective, you know, it's like the first time I stepped into studio 13 years back, I was super virgin, couldn't play to a click track. You know, you get back into studio every year and you sort of fight those demons, you know, on how to do it. And then with this one, I mean, Ryan pushed me a lot with the drums. I mean, he pushed Niel, he pushed himself. He re-recorded vocals over and over. He re-recorded guitars over and over. He got us on backing vocals. Put in those things that we do on the live sets. You know, that's a lot of the times it's not improvised, but it's like, you know, you'll feel something cool on a part of a song and like, oh, that sounded cool. Let's add that into the track. Ryan added keys in, he added solo parts on, but I mean, he can talk more about all the sort of detail work that he's added in there.
it was a really big challenge because we recorded stuff that was already recorded before, and that is so difficult as an sound engineer or a mixing artist to be working on something that you can reference already that was out, and you'll be like, I listened to that, I knew how that song listened, and now you re-recorded everything, and it never doesn't matter what recording studio you go into, you place a microphone, the next day it doesn't sound the same again. So just from like stepping one, it changed the whole dynamic of everything. And what I loved about it was, me and Mark, we wrote these songs off and you're like, we've released them, they're done. But you had Niel that came in and said, but we play them so differently now. They've got so many different things happening to them that the songs evolved. And Niel's probably the first person to tell you, don't jump into the recording studio right after you've written a song. You've got to play it, you've got to work it, you've got to understand the song. And I think it was that mentality that Niel was putting out there that was like, you know what, these songs evolved. And we had fans that came to us and said, I want to play that song that you guys played live where Mark was screaming in the background, shut it, shut it, shut it. And we never captured those in those recordings. So it was a great opportunity to go back, relook at everything and say, let's add the crowd's response to these songs. Let's add everything. If you listen to Shut Your Mouth, we've done the crowd chant that we get at live shows. And we kind of also put that little signature and little tick towards the fans to say thank you for contributing to them.
That's a great thing, Niel not being the original bassist is also a new influence, a new flavor that basically got added to the band. And now, when you guys were developing these old songs, how do you feel that Niel sort of developed an already established sound?
From my side, when Niel joined, we've had Niel play like sessions parts where our previous bassists couldn't make it, and we watched him in no regret, and we've always enjoyed the way he plays and the way he just interacts with the crowd, and we really wanted that personality to join the band, and I think that personality plays through in his way of playing the bass and his detail that he puts down. And especially when it comes to recording, I mean, like when I say me on a drum track will take 2-3 hours now, Niel walks in and he does 2-3 takes and he's done. So he knows his parts very well, and he plays beautiful detailed parts. And with me listening to it, it also evolves my drumming, because there's more detail that I can play and full and stuff. So that's a nice combination we have.
I think the beauty about it as well, like Niel's number 3 bassist now for the Barcode Bandits, but we've never gone that approach of saying that's how it was played and that's the note you're going to be playing. We wanted people to bring their own spark and their own design. So whoever joins the band, it's something happens to one of us, God forbid, and we have to get replacements. We want them to make it their own. It's not a matter of this is what it was, and it never will be.
I think changing a band member is definitely one of the most difficult parts for a band. I mean, we are currently going through a bassist change, which is fucking shit, bro. You feel like you've just gotten to a point and things are working and gigging's going great, and the next moment, shit hits the fan. Niel, tell me about, from your point of view, joining the band, obviously bringing your own flavors and the band giving you creative possibilities, saying like, do your thing. Don't, you're not limited to an old track. Tell me about that, and tell me about how did you take on the bass?
I will definitely always appreciate the artistic license that the other guys have allowed me to go and play with. I listened to all of the previously recorded tracks, and I've jammed along with Mark and Ryan enough times before I actually officially joined the band to be able to go, hang on, there's a space here. Let me try to fill it up. Because being a 3-piece, you do need fillers. And I like to think that I put in quite a few fillers just to sort of broaden the sound while we're jamming. But it's never been a problem. As the guy said, there's never been a case where they say, no, you must play this, you must play that. But the original one didn't sound like that. That's terrible. That sort of thing. It's the case where we, as I say, I have been given complete creative license to do whatever I want. And I've been doing whatever I want. We've been working out pretty well, I think.
We're just too nice to say anything. That's the problem, actually.
We let the Niel roam free.
Let the bass roam free. So you guys explore quite a vast variety of themes. One theme that caught my attention specifically is a song against gender-based violence. Can you guys tell me a little bit more in detail about the song?
You know, we've actually got two songs that represent the same situation. The main core song would be Rest of the World, but we did release a music video for Save Our Souls where we incorporated the gender violence. And it's because that they crunched when we were filming that music video for Save Our Souls, we had already done Rest of the World. So we really found this sneaky way to kind of put it into the music video and tie the two songs together as well. But realistically, it was really just a shout and a cause. The song had meaning against seeing an abusive relationship going on, and you know, just watching that person deteriorate. That was just a beautiful way where we got so much great response from the crowd. We opened up contact with as many people as we could to say we need to help support people in this. We want to become a channel for people to come and speak to us. And we're not the channel that you come and speak to and get the answers. We don't have the answers, unfortunately. But we are a channel that you can say, hey, I need to speak about this, and we can guide you into the right direction for the professionals. We are definitely, I mean, Niel's unhinged. He can barely help himself. You know, and we just got so much response from it. I mean, every show that we go through and we say to people, stand up against women abuse, and they do, and they participate, and we've got so many videos of full house crowds standing up against women abuse that it shows that there's still care, and we don't pay attention to it, but there's a lot of people struggling with it, which is scary.
It's definitely a big issue, especially in this country. Yeah, I think it's something that people also sort of sometimes miss and think, you know, my life is perfect. You know, we don't know what other people are facing, and I think it's a definite very big problem. I've done something a little bit out of the box. You know, I used to play little games on my show. So now I've tried new, fresh ways to engage with bands just to find out a little bit about their creative side. So the first little thing we're going to do is each person, you have to describe your other two band members by naming a band that you think they are.
Now, I was hoping for more describing words, because then I would have said Mark's fluffy and Niel is stinky. But you know what? I'll be honest here. I think Mark's just always screamed like old school rock. AC/DC is probably the first one that runs into my head, where like he's just that guy. Drumming wise, I mean, AC/DC, I don't want to say too harsh words, are quite simple drumming, but Mark's not that. Mark's always loved texture and character, but AC/DC is very foundationed, and I would say that's definitely the band for him. Then Niel, I mean, I know his genre of music that he goes to, but to be honest with you, for me, I would probably have to say Sex Pistols, because it is still that punky rock side of things in the past that I think, for me, he's characteristic, and he's stupidly long tongue. Probably should have been Kiss. But I think Sex Pistols still sets that tone for me. They're my brothers, man. Like, honestly, like Niel's just come in like this puzzle piece, and it's just we've always been brothers, and Niel's just come in and we carried on with it, and it's been amazing. I mean, really are the best friends I have in my life, that we always talk together. There's never awkwardness. There's never anything. We just get along, man, and it's so fun. And it's not just us; it's our partners as well, and we come together as this band family, and we all just love it. And we all, I mean, like we just had this weekend now where we all stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's the most memorable weekends of my life, going to music festivals, hanging out with each other, and just talking rubbish, and also fixing each other's problems. I don't think we jump into them and say we're fixing each other's problems. It just, you leave and you're like, I feel so much more relief that I've been with the boys, and I've got clearer answers now.
That's very important. I was chatting to another band as well, in the last interview that's coming out tomorrow, and they said a very similar thing. And I think that's a very big industry problem, is that people make music together, but they're not friends, and that's what sort of makes music go a bit funky. So Niel, tell me about your band members. Which bands are they?
Ryan's definitely got to be something like Blink-182, sort of early 90s stuff, because he's the youngster in the band. He's not even 40 yet, for heaven's sake. He's certainly got the very new punky era feel as far as his style is concerned. And Mark, I would say, yeah, pretty much what Ryan said. Very, very sort of classic rock. AC/DC and Iron Maiden and that sort of thing. He's got a certain, what's the word I'm looking for, style that gives the heaviness that he's looking for, but it belies what he's actually doing. That's probably my best idea in this case. Yeah.
For me to describe the boys in band, it's like I say, I mean, Ryan and I've had a long relationship that grew into this beautiful friendship, and over the years. So musically, yes, it's the Blink 182s, it's the Billy Talents, it's the My Chemical Romances. He lives in that space, but he's so multi sort of versed in his music writing. So it's difficult to plant him into that. But I mean, style wise, yes, he always dresses very cool and funky and looks slick, and the hair's always something new's happening every week. He doesn't stick to one hairstyle. Then it's beard on, beard off, where I'm like, oh no, the beard will stay for years and the hair will maybe change up and down. Neil's got his look and feel. But yeah, Neil gives me that sort of he's sort of in the goth rock sessions with all those UK type bands. I remember I did not a stint, but I was asked to MC one of the Oak Fests, and I actually had to introduce Neil and them, and they always give me this sort of UK punk rock English type vibe. And when Neil's on stage, he portrays that with his leather jacket and his skinnies, and he's got his Doc Martens on sometimes, or he's just got cool sneaks on, and the hair's long and the beard's growing. So yeah, I always describe him as this UK punk rocker almost. And to put a band to it is difficult, but it's sort of in that emo goth rock sort of, not emo.
So if you guys, without thinking about it, what is your band's theme? And this is not musical. This is just like, go for it. What is your theme?
For me, if I just talk what we've experienced this weekend, it's love and support from my side.
I think that's something that you really have to have, is that sort of brotherhood that's, no matter fucking what happens, no matter what happens on stage, there's this, like, I called it spiritual, and I don't know if spiritual is the right word. Maybe it is, but there's this bond between people in the music group that it's so fucking strong that I always used to say, like, if my previous guitarist, we were so in sync, if that motherfucker is going to jump off a speaker into the crowd, I knew that long before he even thought of it. So and I think that's very important in a band.
Yeah.
So another little crazy question, and then we're going to move on to the music again. If aliens come to this planet while you guys are performing, so you're busy playing a festival and the aliens land and they're like, play a song, you better impress us or we're gonna fucking invade.
It'll just be a tribute.
It will have to be a Tenacious D number.
Yeah.
Even though we don't know how to play it together.
No, I think when that happens, again, talking from a friendship point of view, we've got this beautiful thing we do between us and No Regret and extra friends. We go fishing. We do a bit of fly fishing on like once or twice a year, thanks to Neil. He brought us in, and we sit in that car and we listen to great music. Everybody puts in their music, and Richard actually has a phenomenal soundtrack. But somehow Tenacious D always comes up, and the whole car just lights up, and we sing that song together. And I think it will probably have to be one or two of the Tenacious D. It doesn't have to be tribute. I think we sing the others much better. What is it? You don't always have to fuck her hard.
Fuck her gently, yes.
Fuck her gently. And we sing that song as a band and as a bunch of friends, and we laugh and we take videos of it. It's like it's become almost a ritual in the car before we hit the other side of the fishing trip.
I think maybe you guys should have friendship as your theme song.
Yeah, or like the Friends theme song. There we go.
No, geez.
So
Yes,
fucking
friendship is rare. Can you hand me that shotgun, buddy? Also that chair.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy. Those are phenomenal musicians, by the way. Coming back to you guys, Barcode Bandits, tell me a little bit about what's up next. I've seen some shows that you guys have announced with some pretty good friends of mine. You're playing with Indie Dog, some of the good bands in the industry. So tell me a little bit about the industry, how you guys are feeling I think previously they used to be quite an aggressive form of gatekeeping, but it seems to be getting a little bit better. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about the shows, upcoming shows, what's next.
Mark, go for the shows, man. I think you got the dates in your head there.
Yeah, man, we just started, jumped into the trenches and started digging after we've now launched the album, and we've been speaking to the guys out there, just getting venues, guys. We want to play. We got to launch our album. We played Smoking Kills just on Saturday. With was supposed to be with Luna Lane. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it. Rocked it out with no regret. And then we're busy looking at obviously this show coming up now at Swartbar Oosrand. So super excited for that because it's a bigger venue. We haven't played it yet. We've done the Pretoria one. And we're going to do that with Indie Dog and Screaming Colors. That's on the 25th of April. It's also $80 cover. There's a ticket link. The event's live, so you can go and buy online tickets already. And yes, that one's going to be off the charts, I think, because we haven't played with Indie Dog. Excited to do that. And then we've obviously played with Screaming Colors. They're a bunch of crazy motherfuckers. So excited to see what Indie Dog brings to the table. But I've seen their stuff, and they've just been a great bunch of guys already just on WhatsApp responding, yes, we're in, cool, happy. And then we're focusing on the next one. We'll probably start looking at May. We're looking at Democracy. Nothing's been signed there yet, but yeah, just asking around, getting it back in the scene, man. We're looking for Baileys, whatever's out there. We want to play it. Even the old rumors, we'll get into those shows. There's some talk about June and July, but it's a winter long weekend, so I know I wasn't too keen for it because we're going to be cold and stuck on a long weekend with no crowd. You never know, but that's just my opinion.
But I think to just add on what Mark was saying as well, like this is just the start of what we've been doing. We've taken a year and a bit to just focus on music and this album that's just launched. So everyone that's listening, the album's out now, Recoded, go listen to it. And we've been working on another album as well. So we're only halfway through what the big plan is. Recoded was just a taster to get all the old songs back on track, and Decoded, which is the next album, is going to be a lot more newer songs, a lot more of the later stuff that was coming out. So we still working hard, and we still got a lot of work to do, but there's exciting things happening, but it is nice to just get back on stage and express that way again.
You're working with some great bands, great venues. Indie Dog is personally one of my favorite bands in the industry, so you guys are definitely going to have a treat with them. And then you're playing at one of my favorite venues, Swartbar. I fucking love Swartbar. The team over there, they work hard and they give a shit about bands, and I think that is very important. That is very important, and Rumors as well. I definitely think if you're not playing Rumors, then you're not a band, because I mean everyone plays Rumors at some point. So and I'm definitely excited for the new stuff, definitely excited for the album that just launched. Tell me a little bit about that. How did the launch go? Did it meet expectations? What are people saying about the album?
I feel excited about the album. I mean, the feedback that we have received so far is out of this world. I mean, people are listening and commenting and saying that they want more. We've actually managed to, probably for the first time in our lives, managed to get somebody to come to the show only on the strength of one of our singles. And I mean, he thoroughly enjoyed it, and he sent friend requests and freaking all that stuff just to engage further. And that's, I think, what's very important, being able to engage with the fans. And this is probably the first opportunity that we've really had to actively engage with anybody who wants to call themselves fans.
Yeah, and I think we hit number one on Mix FM. We've dropped down a little bit now to third place, and then we also just went up now we're in the top 10 now on the 91.9 on station. So I mean, like
919 FM, yeah.
Yeah, so like there's been some good feedback, man, and just the little comments the DJ's been making every time they play the song. Definitely a lot more serious than when we released anything in the past, and it's great to get that recognition.
What was pretty cool that we noticed on Saturday's show, we played a couple of weeks. We played Bistro, and the owners actually WhatsApped us the next morning. She said there was a guy here. He walked in at the last 3 songs, and he really loved our show. He really wants to check us out, and la la la. and he rocked up at our show on Saturday night. He says he came all the way through from that side, Benoni, Boksburg, all the way to Melville just to come make sure he sees it. And he's an older guy. He's older than me. That was quite cool. Just so check the Niel response. But it's cool that people, you'd think the age gap would be 20 to 35, but now, we're sort of hitting those markets with a 40 to 55, because people still enjoy that music. We all grew up on punk rock and roll when we were 14, 15, 13. And people still want to listen to that type of music and drive out to venues and go check live bands. That was pretty cool. So for me, with the whole effort that we put into the recordings.
I think it's an exciting time. I think, punk and rock and maybe metal, I'm more into the metal me, but I think sort of died for a little while. And I think sort of it's reviving slowly, and it's like the younger kids are listening to rock and punk. A lot of Linkin Park coming back, the new metal stuff. So I think it's an exciting time to be alive for music, and especially for punk in this country. I mean, the punk bands and the rock bands, they are dominating. They are taking over the scene, and the kids are angry and want to fucking lose their minds at shows. And I think bands like yourself is a good beacon for young kids to come out and be like, hey, this is fucking cool. Come have a fucking party with bands like we did fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And let's bring back that movement. So last few things, tell me a little bit, where can people stream your music? Where can they find you on social media, band merch and all that? Where is it available? Where can people buy it?
So social media platforms, we everywhere: TikTok, X, Facebook, pretty much anywhere and everywhere. So I mean, you just got to search the Barcode Bandits. Luckily, we got a unique band name, so there's no hiding or anything like that. Barcode Bandits, you're going to find us, no problem.
So there's no ambiguity involved. Yeah.
And then streaming wise, all streaming platforms. So we out on iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, Spotify, everything, even some new ones I didn't even know existed. So yeah, it's pretty much all out there for everyone to just blast their ears out, man.
The merch we always post on our page when I design something new and we're releasing. We've done some cool new t-shirts for the Recoded sort of space. We've done some sneakers. They're actually down in PE at the moment with Warren. He's selling the last bit of merch there, and then we'll start ordering fresh merch. But we always try and put it up on our pages. We normally send it out on WhatsApp, to all the friends and family and obviously fans that we've gotten over the years. So we try and put it out as much as possible, but it's normally t-shirts, sort of sneakers, sort of bands. It's obviously the stickers, they're always available. But these days it's so difficult to put out an item, or like our music. You don't print CDs anymore. To print vinyl is ridiculously expensive. So maybe once the band makes it after this one, we'll get some moolah to do those extra little merch stuff. But I mean, the t-shirts are always a hit. The caps are always a hit. So they're definitely going to be coming out live. We'll start posting that soon to get orders in. So hopefully in the next week or so we'll start getting orders in.
I think the sneakers is a really good idea. Everyone sort of jumps on the t-shirt bandwagon. This is my own band's t-shirt,
Yeah.
Everyone sort of just goes for t-shirts. So I think when a band does something like bring out sneakers or pants or even socks, it's fresh, it's new, it's interesting.
That's what we always try. That's what we did with the sneakers, So it's typical high tops, just has the logo on the side, and they went like hotcakes, man. We sold out. I think, like I said, the last pair is down in PE. There's 2 pairs left, and we sold out all the pairs. I think the band probably bought more. Ryan bought like one of each color. We did like a navy and a red and a black and a white, and they sold out, man. It was quite cool. We'll look at that and see if it, with a new logo and the stuff that we sort of doing with the Recoded look and feel. But yeah, there's going to definitely be t-shirts, and we're always looking at new concepts and new ideas. So we actually bounced into a guy Saturday night at that does merch. So we're going to contact him, see what he's got to offer, and get some new pricing, and hopefully start putting and marketing the stuff out there.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the awesome interview.
Until next time, I've been Hardman.